Places that you visited coming like slideshow in your heart. Or if you come to Vrindavan and go and prickle with me, then when you come back here and sing, then you will see ding, 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 like slideshow in your heart. This is Jai. Sri Nanda Yasoda Jaya. Jaya Gopagan. Sri Ramadi Jaya Jaya Jaya. So last time we were in Gokul and we crossed over the Jamuna Trichatikar. Then gradually Nanda Maharaj established his palace at Nandagram. And this is small hill. Actually it's known as Nandishwar Parvat. Because Lord Shiva, he performed great penances and austerities for many thousands of years. And finally Lord Krishna came and he asked, what is it that you desire? And Lord Shiva said, I know that at the end of Dwapara Yuga you will display your pastimes here in Braj. So I want to be able to see those pastimes, witness those pastimes. So if I could become a stone, and that maybe that's too much, or even just some dust here in bread so I could see those pastimes. And the Lord said, why stone or dust? You become a hill. And my Baba will build his palace on top of your hill and you will see all my wonderful pastimes. So this hill is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. It's like Barsana is incarnation of Brahma. And And Giriraj is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So this is Nandishwar Parvat. And it's described, actually in Bhakti Ratnakara there's a very beautiful verse. It says, what is that verse? The first line I'm missing. Maybe the second line. I can't remember the first line somehow. Nandiswaram sadhugana vadanti. Okay, that's starting to come. What is it? Nandiswaram sadhugana. Tattachurubhuttam aparashobham Nandisaram sadhugana vadanti. Nandisaram yam tadidi rupam Sri Nandarajalaya rajamanam. This is not from Bhakti Ratnakara, this is from a very beautiful book by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur called Vrajriti Chintamani. He describes the whole Prikama of Vrindavan. So since he's talking about Vrindavan, when he says Tat, he's referring back to that Vrindavan that he's describing. So Tat Chirubhutam Apara Shobham. The crown jewel of this Vrindavan, Tat Chirubhutam. Chirubhutam means crown jewel. Nandiswaram Sadhugana Vadanti. Is this Nandishwar Parvat. Just like previously in another verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has described Govardhan as the tilak of Braj. Nava Nava Tilakam. Govardhan is the tilak of Braj. But the crown of Braj is this Nandishwar Parvat. And not that Vishwanath Chakravarti alone is saying this, he says, Nandishwaram Sadhugana Vadanti. Vadanti means say, the sadhugan, all the sadhus, Vadanti, they're telling that this is the crown of Braj. Nandiswaram yam daridi rupam, it is the self-same form of Nandiswar Mahadev, it is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. Sri Nandarajalaya rajamanam. And Nanda Maharaj's Mahal is resting on top of that hill, Mahabirajmani. Sri Nandarajalaya Rajamanam. Just like if you spend some time in India, then you'll hear one word called Karyalaya. Karya means work. So Karyalaya means office. But here he says Rajalaya. You can understand Rajalaya. If Karyalaya is where work is going on, then Rajalaya, where the king is living, king's palace. Sri Nanda Rajalaya Rajamanam. Nanda Maharaj's palace is resting on top of that hill. Mahabirajmani. Then, in his Nandiswar Astak, Actually, every day in Vrindakund, for the noon artik, we sing this Vrindadevastak of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So after he composed that Vrindadevastak, he must have turned around and seen Nandagam, and he composed this beautiful Nandiswar Astaka, because it completely describes the view you see from Vrindakund. Yatra vrajari pepura pratima prakasa prasada murda kalaso parinittarangi barhikshate bhuvijaya dvajake tubuto nandiswaram samaramandam budam dadatu. Yatra, in that place, Vrajadipe, the king of Braj. Yatra Vrajadipe pura pratima prakasa. Pur, we know, like Mayapur means village. Apratima means unparalleled, incomparable. Pura apratima prakash. Anybody has a friend named Prakash? Or you know somebody named Prakash? You don't have any friend named Prakash? Yeah. Prakash means shining. So in that place, the beautiful palace, the beautiful village of Nanda Maharaj is shining. And now within the last few years, one devotee was there, Janaki Das, and he covered the whole Nandagam domes with white marble. So now you can see it shining from every direction. Especially in rainy season, it's so beautiful. You see this big black monsoon cloud, just like Krishna, and this white dome is shining there in front of the monsoon cloud. It's very beautiful. Yatra vrajadi vipura pratima aprakasha prasada murda kalasopari nittarang. On top of the palace there's a dome, and on top of the dome there's kalas. Our little friend here, what is your name? Ungaperana? Aravinda. Oh, lotus flower. You know how to make a temple? I'll show you. Here's the temple. Here's the dome. Darvaza Kolo or Sabakta Bolo. Haribol, Haribol. Ye mandir hai, ye shikar hai, or Darvaza Kolo, Sabakta Bolo. Haribol. So on top of the palace there's a dome, on top of the dome there's kalas, and nityarangi, something is always dancing there. What does he say? Barhikshate. Barhi means peacock, just like we hear this word, another form of this word, every morning, Barhavatam sammasitam buddha barha. So barhi means peacock, peacock is dancing. Barhikshate, ikshate means the scene. Barhikshate, bhuvi jayadvaj. You know Jayadvaj? Actually, I was just talking on Skype yesterday with Jayadvaj, my godbrother in Miami. That's where we go tomorrow. So he was asking about the flight numbers and all these things. But Jayadvaj is almost the same as Jayapataka. You all know Jayapataka, huh? Jayapataka means victory flag. Dvaja means flag, Jayadvaj. But not just ordinary, aketa. Barhikshati bhuvi jayadva jaketu bhutto. Adbhut, very wonderful. Victory flag is dancing there. And this is what we see. We look from Nandagam, from Vrindakund to Nandagam, then we see this palace and the dome and the kalas, and upstairs we can see this Jayadvaj flying and dancing in the wind. Jayadva jaketu bhutto. Nandi saram samaramandam mudam dadatu. May that Nandiswar Parvat give you unlimited amounts of happiness. This is the blessing of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on our humble selves. So 500 years ago it was described in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Srimad Mahaprabhu also came there on Prikrama. Just like when you guys all come to Vrindavan, you go on Prikrama. So Mahaprabhu, he also went on Prikrama. But he didn't go by AC Qualis or big bus. He was going with his feet, and he was chanting with his arms raised in the sky, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when he got there to Nandagam, he asked one villager, are there any deities here? So, all the villagers told, yes, on top of this hill there's a cave. Inside that cave there's a very big man, there's a very dainty lady, and in between, little Sri Lalita, wow, the cowherd boy is there. So Mahaprabhu, he climbed the hill, he went inside that cave, and there he saw a great big Nanda Maharaj with big yellow pagri, turban on his head, and little dainty Mother Yasoda, and in between he saw this beautiful little cowherd boy. Maybe you've seen this picture in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You've seen? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu, he's just touching the body of Gopal. You didn't see this picture? Nobody saw this picture? Maybe we don't have it in German edition. The English edition is there. Because I posed for that picture. One day I was temple president of Portland, Oregon, in the northwest corner of America. And I came down to LA and I was just walking down the street and Jadharani ran out and said, hey you, come here. Because that's when the big Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon was going on. So we need you. And they were taking pictures of people posing for different pictures so they could paint them real quickly. So then I was posing there as Mahaprabhu coming inside the cave and just touching the body of Gopal. There's another one where Mahaprabhu's jumping in the boat and everybody's going like this, Mahaprabhu's jumping. I had to jump many times before she got the picture she wanted. And then maybe you've seen the picture where the Buddhist brought the plate with contaminated things and the eagle picked it up and dropped it on his head, so that Buddhist with a horrible expression on his face with the plate crashing down on his head, that was me. The old man behind would, that was also me. And there's another one where Mahaprabhu's sitting in the boat and he's telling Gadadhar Pandit that you can't, because he wants to go with Mahaprabhu, but he's taken Kshetra Sannyas not to go outside of Braj. When he got to the river, which is the border, Mahaprabhu's told him, now you go back. So I'm sitting there, I posed for that one. Mahaprabhu's saying, no, no, telling the devotees, taking back, taking back. Then somebody said, hey, don't you know this is temple president, what are you doing with him? I said, no, I'm just happy, I'm happy to be part of Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon. That was my little part. So anyway, Mahaprabhu, he saw this great big Nanda Baba, little dainty Mother Yasoda and a little Gwal. But now when you go to Nandagram, you will see the big tall Nanda Baba with a big yellow turban on his head. You'll see a little dainty Mother Yasoda, and you see both Krishna and Balaram. But when you see them, you will not be able to tell who's Krishna and who's Balaram. Both are exactly the same mukhat, both are black, both are in threefold bending form, both have same flute, same jewelry, same ankle bells, same necklace, everything same to same belt, same flute, everything same to same. But I will tell you that since Nanda Lala, he has got too much love for Mother Yasoda, so he's on my Yasoda's side. And Baldao, he's got too much love for Nanda Baba, so he's on Baba's side. Otherwise you can't tell. Only if you look closer you can see that Baldao's a little bit taller. And if you have very, very good eyesight, then you can see that Balaram's eyes are a little pinkish from drinking too much Varuni. Now if you ask anybody why they're both the same, they will tell you many different things. First thing is that Balaram, he's the older brother, so he feels that it's his duty to protect his younger brother. So he takes chandan and he burns it, and with the black, he smears that black all over all his body, and then he dresses with same mukha, same flute, same necklace, same bangles, same nupur, same belt, same dhoti, same kurta, everything same to same, and then the Rakshasas can't tell who's Krishna and who's Balda. Other reason is that Krishna and Balaram, they're almost like twins. Because now in a few more days, this Balaram Purnima is coming. On 13th, I think. So, that is the Shravan Purnima. So the next month is Bhadra. On the 8th day of the dark half, Krishnastami, is Krishna's birthday. So they're only 8 days apart. So they're almost like twins. So, I bet even here in Switzerland, sometimes you'll see when people have twins, they dress them exactly the same. They do that here also? Yes? So that's another reason. They're almost like twins, so they dress them exactly the same. Other reason is that Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini, they're very, very clever. Those of you who are already mothers, you'll recognize the cleverness of Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini. Those of you going to be mothers someday, you can learn something from Mother Rohini and Mother Yasoda. And those of you who are not married yet, I give you a blessing, you'll get wives just as clever as Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini. So, they're very clever. They know that if they dress them differently, then Krishna and Baldev, they'll just fight. No, I want Kaneya's mukit. No, I want Baldev's mukit. No, I want his belt. No, I want his dhoti. No, I want his dupur. I want his flute. I want his ankle belt. I want his bracelet. I want his necklace. They just fight like that. So Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini, they're very clever. They dress them exactly the same and they don't fight. So this is the vision you will see when you go up to the top of the hill to see the darshan in Nanda Bhavan. It's called Nanda Bhavan, Nanda Maharaj's palace. Now we're just told that this hill is the incarnation of Lord Shiva, Nandiswar Parvat. So one time after they moved there to Nandagram, and Krishna was just a little boy, then Lord Shiva, he decided to come and get darshan of Nandalala. So you've seen Lord Shiva's drum, shaped like an X, with 2 little balls tied in the center, and then you shake it and make lots of noise. This is called damru. Damru. So Lord Shiva came playing his damru. So Maya Yasoda, she came outside to see what is all this noise. And she saw one horrible yogi is there. Whole body is covered with rock. You know rock? Ashes. From where? From the crematorium. And on his neck is Sam, snake, and Bichu, scorpion, and Makari, spider. So Mother Yasoda saw this horrible yogi standing there, so she slammed the door. Then Lord Shiva began to cry, "Are Maya, I came to get darshan of your Lala." And Mother Yasoda said, "Baba, tuko dekhega to mera Lala dhar jayega. My Lala will see you, he'll become frightened. You please go away." No, Maya, I came from very far away just to see your Lala. You please open the door. Nay, Baba, tuko dekhega to dhar jayega. If my Lala will see you, he'll become frightened. But Maya, I came from very far away, all the way from Kailash, just to get darshan of Nanda Lala. Ye lalsa laya ki Nanda Lala ka darshan hoga. I came just with this lalsa, this desire, to see Nanda Lala. And Mother Yasoda said, "Look, Baba, you be on your way, Mera Lala to go dekhega to dar jayega. If he will see you, he'll become frightened." So then Lord Shiva said, "All right, then I'm going to sit here until he doesn't come outside." And Mother Yasoda came outside and said, "Look, Baba, you're not going to sit here all day. I know you Babas, you only came for one thing. So now you take some roti and you be on your way." You know roti? Chapati. You know chapatis. Huh? And our Gujarati friends, they like to make them just as flat as a piece of paper. Huh? But in Braj, we don't do this. We like this, nice and thick. So all the Babas, they come in the morning, "Hari Bo, Roti Do, Radhesham, Madhu Kari." So Mother Yasoda gave a big pile of rotis to Lord Shiva, and said, "Now Baba, be on your way." So Lord Shiva, he became Nirash. Nirash means hopeless and helpless. So he went away in the forest, one small forest was nearby, and he sat down and he began to hope against hope. Anybody has a Indian friend named Asha? Anybody knows a lady or a girl named Asha?
Yes, Asha. Yes, lady's name Asha.
Asha. Asha means hope. So he was hoping against hope. And what was he hoping? He was hoping to get darshan of Nandalala. We're also hoping to get darshan of Nandalala. Isn't it? That's why we came here to this Swiss summer camp, so we can hear something about Nandalala and become more attracted to him. We're also hoping to get darshan of Nandalala. And that is Krishna consciousness in a nutshell. Everything we're doing is with the hope to get darshan of Nandalala. We're chanting 16 rounds, we're following 4 regular principles, we're going to Mangalarti, we're doing all these things with hope to get darshan of Nandalala. That is Krishna consciousness, very simple. We make everything complicated, it's very simple. You just think, whatever I'm doing right now, am I hoping to get darshan of Nandalala, or am I hoping to get some sense gratification? And then you'll always be in Krishna consciousness. You just ask this question. And everything you do, you think, I'm doing this with hope to get darshan of Nandalala. I'm cooking in the kitchen, we saw everybody today chopping up all the sabjis. We're chopping all these sabjis with hoping to get darshan of Nandalala. Then you'll always remain Krishna conscious. Very simple. So anyway, that is the greatest of all hopes. That is the Lord of all hopes. So he became known as Asheshwar Mahadev. And that forest became known as Asheshwar Ban. Now meanwhile, Nandalala, he knew that his best devotee, Lord Shiva, has come to see him. Because we know from Srimad Bhagavatam, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. The greatest of the Vaishnavas is Shambhu, Lord Shiva. So he knew his best devotee has come to see him, but he couldn't see his best devotee, so he began to cry. And everything Madhya Yasoda did to stop his crying got failed. And then all the older gopis came and they all tried, oh, what's the matter, Lala? Come on, Lala, smile, Lala. Everybody got failed. But there was one older gopi there, a Buddhi gopi or Buddhi Manviji, and she was very intelligent. She said, somebody has put nazar, evil eye. In Hindi we say nazar, evil eye. Somebody has put evil eye on your Lala. Just like I used to sit in the Bhagavatam class with the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I would look in the back where they show the Hindi, the Devanagari script and the transliteration, and I would flip back and forth, and this way I learned all the Devanagari script. And then we came to India, and then we were riding on the bus to Mayapur, and I looked at the truck in front of the bus, and on the back bumper it says, Buri Nazar Wali Teri Mu Kala. Isn't it? That who's giving us Buri Nazar, evil eye, your face is black. So Nazar means evil eye. So who came here? So Madhya Yasoda said, well, Upananda came early this morning, then Abhinanda came, and later in the day, Vrisabhanu was also visiting Nanda Baba today. Oh! One yogi came. Whole body was covered with rock, ash. On his neck there was samp, snake, and pichu, and makari, spider. So where did that yogi go? I don't know. I gave him some roti and sent him on his way. He said, that yogi must have put evil eye on your Lala. So then all the older gopis, they went all around the 4 sides of Nandagram, and finally in the forest they found Lord Shiva there, hoping against hope. They saw this yogi sitting there. So they all came, they said, Chalare yogi nanda bhavame, yasmat maa bulave, baki lala ko nazar lage, to be Rainon karave. Just like when you come on Prikama, then all day long we're telling you, chalo, 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 let's go, let's go. So let's go, yogi, to Nanda Bhavan. Yasmat Mahabula, Mother Yasoda is calling you. Huh? You just make the cure for this evil eye and stop this Lala from crying. So they brought Lord Shiva up to Nanda Bhavan. And Mother Yasoda, she opened the door. Lala, he saw Lord Shiva, he smiled. Then Mother Yasoda shut the door. And then Lala again began to cry. And Mother Yasoda came outside, Baba, you got your darshan, now you stop this Lala from crying. Are bhaiya, only one way to stop this Lala from crying. Batao, jaldi batao, tell me quickly, tell me. So when your Lala's foot will come on my head, then his crying will be cured. And Mother Yasoda said, you know how we say no in Hindi? Nahi, nahi, nahi. So he said, no, 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 this Sam, Bichu, Makari, no, nahi, nahi, nahi. And all the gopis, they said, you know how to say yes in Hindi? Ha. Just like I learned this when I joined Krishna Balaram temple. One day we went to Meerut, one city near Delhi. It's called Meerut. And we went to visit our old life member, Mr. M.C. Goyal, not far from Begumpur. And we were sitting there, and the phone rang. And cross my heart, hope to die, this is the half of the conversation that I heard. Hey, ha, hey, ha, 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 acha, hey, ha, ha, acha, 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 ji, hey, ha, acha, namaskar. Is it? So then all the older gopis, they said, you're not very convincing. Mother said, nahi, nahi, it's Sam, Bichu, Makri, nahi, nahi, nahi. And all the gopis said, ha. So the ha's won. So then, Mother Yasoda, she opened the door, she lifted up Lala. Lala put his foot on Lord Shiva's head. Lord Shiva, he's Nataraj, he began to dance. And Lala began to laugh. And when we see the little boys laughing, oh, then automatically Vatsalya Ras just comes pouring in our heart, isn't it? We see the little boys laugh. This one doesn't laugh so easily, huh? So, anyway, so then all the gopis, seeing Krishna laughing like that, they said, Re re yogi nanda baba me, brij me bason kije. Jab jab mera lala robe, tab tak darshan dije. They said, just like we were telling you before, chalo means let's go. This is opposite. Re, you stay. Re yogi nanda bhavan. You stay here in Nanda Bhavan. Brij me bason kije. You forget about that Kailash. Now you do Brijabas. Jab jab mera lala robe, whenever my lala cries, tak tak darshan dije. Then you come and give your darshan. So Lord Shiva said, all right, I will stay here in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. But there's two conditions. This is not unconditional devotional service. What is that? Whenever you bathe your lala, and then you bring that water and pour it on my head. When we bathe the Lords, then what do we call that water? Charnamrit. So you bring that charnamrit and pour it on my head. And whenever you feed your lala, then whatever chewed remnant, it's a uchist, whatever chewed remnant is left on his plate, you bring that to me. Lord's chewed remnant, what do we call? Mahaprasad. You bring that Mahaprasad to me, and no demon will come inside this Nandagram. So there in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, you can see this Nandeshwar Mahadev is there, and in Nandagram we won't find any demon Lilas. You'll have to go far away to Kadiravan or some other van, Bhadravan, But in Nandagram, you won't find any demon Lilas, only lasting Lilas are there. Only sometimes rumors are there. Just like on the eastern side of Nandagram, there's Yasoda Kund. Yasoda Kund is a nice place where Mother Yasoda sits and she does her puja and her path, her reading, like that. And she can't bear to see Lala go outside of her sight. So she tells Lala that Dur Kelan Mat Jao Lalban Hawai. That Lala, don't go far in the forest, otherwise How is going to get you. And Nanda Lala said, what is this How? I never seen him any How. And Mother Yasoda said, he's big and black and furry, with pointy little ears, and big long black nose, and big yellow eyes, and many sharp teeth, and great big curved claws, sharp claws, and he'll catch you and eat you up. Then Lala, he got very frightened, he played close by. But since we know that little boys have such long memories, again he started going far in the forest. And Mother Yasoda said, Dur Kelan Majao Lalban Hawaii. Dur means far away. Just like there's one forest of Braj, it's so far away, it's all the way in South Africa, Durban. I also did Prikrama that forest. Maharaj also just came from doing Prikrama that forest. So Dur, don't go far in the forest. Lal, how is it going to get you? Are Maya, I've never seen any. How is this how? Says Lala, he's very tall and furry and black. He has a big long nose and big ears, great big eyes and sharp claws. And he has so sharp teeth, pointy teeth in his mouth, and he'll catch you and eat you up. So then Lala again, he was frightened and he played close by. But since little boys have so long memories, again he started going far in the forest. And Mother Yasoda said, Dur Kelan Majao Lalvan Hawaii. Don't go far in the forest, how is it going to get you? Are Maya, I've never seen anything. How? What is this how? He said, Lala, he's big and black and furry. He has great big long black nose just to smell you with. And he has very sharp curved claws just to catch you with. And big long pointy ears to hear you with. And great big yellow eyes to see you with. And his mouth is so big and there's so sharp teeth inside his mouth, he'll eat you in one bite. Are Maya, you're just telling story. I've never seen it anyhow. Jamuna tatpe denu charai tene dekho how. I've been all over the bank of the Jamuna with my denu. Denu means cows. Jamuna tatpe denu charai. I was herding my cows all along the bank of Jamuna. I've never seen it anyhow. Bain pata kaliyada mabi na dekho how. I jumped in that Kaliya lake. I went all the way to Patala Loka. I swam all the way down to Patala Loka. There I didn't also see any how. I said, Maya, you're just telling stories to scare me. There's no such thing. Then suddenly Mother Yasoda's eyes got very big and she said, but don't look now, here comes one. And Mother Yasoda began to run, and Baldev began to run, and Kanhaiya began to run, and Stoka Krishna began to run, and Raktak began to run, and Sarnamajan began to run, and Ujjam Saka began to run, and Arjun Saka began to run, and all the coward boys, they all ran back behind Mother Yasoda to Nanda Bhavan. And it just happened to be noontime, and they sat down with Nanda Baba and to take lunch, and between breaths, and between bites, they told Nanda Baba how we just missed getting eaten by a how by this much. So actually there's no demons in Nandagram, only sometimes rumor of demon is there. So this very beautiful place, next to Yasoda Kund, is called How Bilao. And you can go and see, because Lord Shiva said if any demon will come, he'll turn to stone, so you can see some stone houses there. So anyway, Nandagram, he said, Sri Damari Jaya Denu Vatsagan. So So Denu was cow and Bats means? Calf. So Sri Ram and all the cowherd boys, in the beginning they were herding the calves. Now, when did they take over the cows? There's an interesting story. Because one time, all the cowherd boys were teasing Nandalala. Oh, you're a great big man, huh? You lifted up the Govardhan hill, huh? And you're just taking out the calves? Huh? They were just teasing him like this. The little boys, they like to tease too much. So next morning, he wouldn't get out of bed. He's just there with his covers pulled over his head. And Mother's like, Lala, get up. Come on, Lala, get up, Lala. What's the matter, Lala? You have tummy ache? You have tummy ache in your tooth? You have tummy ache in your head? Anyway, anyhow, Mother sort of got it out of him that he doesn't want to face his friends because he's only taking out the calves and not the cows. So she went to Nanda Maharaj. Now, Nanda Maharaj, he thought for a second, then he went to see his guru is Sandilya Rishi. Just like Vasudev's guru is Garga Muni, so Nanda Baba's guru is the disciple of Garga Rishi named Sandilya Rishi. So he went to Sandilya Rishi. And Sandilya Rishi said, well, today is Gopastami. This is a very good day to give Lala charge of the cows. So then they told Mother Yasoda, and Mother Yasoda, she's not agreeing. Because now he's herding the calves, he just goes nearby. If he's herding the cows, he'll go far away. He might get hungry, he might get cold, it might rain, he may be thirsty. So many things might happen. It may be too hot, it may be too cold. So then, Sandilya Rishi and Nanda Baba, they were discussing what to do. So Sandilya Rishi said, actually, there's one blanket that is called Kali Kamari. Sometimes you see the picture of Krishna with this little black blanket over his head. Especially these Rajasthani paintings, the little Lala there with this little black blanket. That is Kali Kamari, that is black blanket. So Sandilya Rishi said this Kali Kamari is very special. All the threads going this way were woven by Lord Shiva, and all the threads woven this way were woven by Lord Brahma. And whoever wears that cloth, that blanket, chadar, then he'll never be bothered by heat or cold or thirst or hunger or any type of problem whatsoever. Acha? So where can we get a Kali Kamari? So then Nanda Maharaj stopped for a second. He said, actually, Vrishabhanu has one. As you may have heard the Virastami Lila, Lala they came to Vrishabhanu's house and Lala was crawling here and he saw this basket with this beautiful black blanket hanging over the edge. And he looked inside and saw Srimati Radharani. So that is Kali Kamari. So Vrishabhanu, he has one. So then they're thinking, because Nanda Baba is a king and Vrishabhanu is a king. One king can't go to the other king and beg. It's not proper. If I'm a king, I'm very proud how I can go to beg from the other king. So then Sandilya Rishi said, well, I got an idea. Because we're going to give him charge of the cows today. But first we have to do Kanya Puja, worship of an unmarried girl. So we'll go convince Vrishabhanu that Krishna has to worship Radharani. And then in Dakshina, I'll get that Kali Kamri. This is a good idea. Okay. So they went to see Brisabhanu. They told they're going to do this ceremony of giving Krishna in charge of the cows, but first he has to do Kanya Puja. So they went him to worship Radharani. Well, Brisabhanu and Kirtana, they were overjoyed. So then they did this very beautiful Kanya Puja. And they did it very nicely, and after it was all over, then Nanda Maharaj said, "Oh, this is very beautiful puja." And Brisabhanu said, "Yes, very beautiful puja." And Sanjay Rishi said, "Yes, very beautiful puja." So Nanda Maharaj is poking Sanjay Rishi. "Yes, it was very beautiful puja." "Yes, very beautiful puja." Very beautiful. He's poking him again. He said, but one thing. What is it? What is it? Well, whenever we do the puja, then there has to be some dakshina. "Oh, you want dakshina? Of course. You want pearls, you want diamonds, you want rubies, you want gold, you want silver? Huh? You want chocolates from Switzerland?" "Whatever you want, I'll give you." He said, "No, actually, we were interested in getting that Kali Kamri." "Oh, you want a Kali Kamri? I'll maybe have one made." He said, "Well, no, we have to do the puja, the Go Puja today, so we need it today. So if you could just give that one that you already have." No, we'll take that over, it's all right. So then they got that Kali Kamri from Brisabhanu. So then they came back and Mother Yasoda made some big festival. Because in our Vedic culture, whenever there's some change in the life, just like we do this grain ceremony, and then first of all there's Vivaha Yajna, another day we did ceremony, some yajna for safe delivery of the child, and so many yajnas, and every time just Vidyaram, starting the school, there's some ceremony. Every change in the life, there's some ceremony. Just like for birthday, there's also, if you ask, if all you can probably remember how your father, your great-father, whenever there was birthday, then they would call the Pandit and he would do some Havan, he would do some Ramayan Pat, there would be some Kirtan, there would be some Prasad distribution. In old days, this is the way we used to do. But now we're forgetting all our Sanskriti, our culture. Now whenever there's birthday, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. But really we should do Nam Sankirtan, we have Yajna or something, the distribution of prasadam. So for giving Krishna in charge of the cows, they made some ceremony. So in that ceremony, Mother Yasoda, she gave Lala some little wooden shoes and an umbrella. And Lala said, "Ari Maya, what is this shoes? What is this umbrella?" He said, "Lala, now you're going with the cows. You will go very far in the forest. There may be so many stones, there may be some thorn, so you'll have to have some shoes. Before you were just staying here in the grass with the calves, but now you'll go far in the forest. There may be stone and thorn. And sun may be very hot, or it may rain, so you'll need umbrella." And then Lala said, "And Maya, for my cows, and for my cows, you're going to give shoe and umbrella for my cows?" "Hey Lala, why should you give shoe and umbrella for your cows? You don't know Maya? Cow is very sacred, Maya." "Hey Lala, I'm not going to give, what's so sacred about cow?" He said, "Maya, you don't know? Just like, all my devotees live within my heart, so the same way, all the demigods, they live in the body of the cow. So cow is very sacred, Maya." So Mother Yasoda said, "Lala, cow may be very sacred, but where are you going to get so many shoes? 9 lakhs of cows, so you multiply by 4. Where are you going to get so many shoes? And who's going to carry umbrella for your cows? I'm not going to give shoe and umbrella for your cows." So then Lala said, "All right, Maya, then you keep it with you." He gave back the shoe and umbrella. And Lala, he went barefoot. That's why this dust of Braj, because every day we're outside of Braj. Every day, our breakfast, we take a little pinch of Braj dust. So, what was so good about this dust? Just like we saw today, our Nobidar was there, vacuuming up all the dust. We just tried to get rid of dust. But this dust of Braj is very special because Krishna was walking all over this dust barefoot. He didn't wear any shoe. Therefore this dust, it is mixed with the lotus foot dust of Sri Krishna. So you'll see all the devotees in Braj, they like to go barefoot. That maybe one little speck is there that touch Krishna's foot, it will touch me middle of Dharma, I'll be saved. So you'll see all the sadhus and devotees in Braj, they like to walk around barefoot, because this dust is touched by the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. So, we call it Braj Raj. Very special Braj Raj. It's said that even with all the opulence of Vaikuntha, you cannot buy 1 grain of this Braj dust. It is so special. What to speak of all the money in the Swiss banks, all the opulence of Vaikuntha, you can buy 1 grain. So then Krishna, he was wandering all around the Braj, totally barefoot. Now, when the cows heard this, Sanatana Goswami, he describes in his Vaishnava Toshani, that when the cows heard that Krishna is going to go barefoot, then they went in the night with their hard hooves and they smashed all of the stones and rocks in Braj into very, very soft powder. You'll see this dust of Braj is very, very soft. Unfortunately, everywhere they're putting this asphalt. It's like now they're just, when I left, they were working on the last stretch of Krikama Marg. It's all torn up and they're making bridges and all kinds of things with drains and no more dust to walk on. But otherwise, this dust of Braj is very soft. And there's one place, especially right near, just beyond Barsana, near Unchagam. I call this the Johnson & Johnson baby powder Braj. It is so soft and fluffy. We just love to go there and just roll in this dust. And whenever we take Radhanath Swami there, he has a little mask like this he wears. As you see on the bottle, on the Johnson & Johnson, it says, for external use only. In some places we see the red Chandan Raj, and like this, so beautiful Rajas there all over Vrindavan. So then Krishna took charge of the cows. So then in Nandagram, there's the devotees' favorite place, Ter Kadamba. Ter means to call. In Brishbhasa, Ter means to call. So there's a beautiful Kadamba tree. And in the afternoon, Krishna climbs a Kadamba tree. Now the afternoon time, just like when we do this this afternoon arti, that time of the day is called Goduli. Because another name for this Raj dust is Dul. But this is Goduli, you can understand. This is the dust kicked up by the hoofs of the cows. Because in the evening time, all the cows will come home in the late afternoon, before the evening, that in between time, between afternoon and evening, the cows will come home and they will kick up the dust and a big cloud will come in the sky. So that afternoon time is called Goduli. Just like there's one lady she's from Singapore, but she lives in Dallas, Texas. Her name is Goduli. So, at that Goduli time, then Krishna will climb in that Kadamba tree and he will play his flute to call all of the cows home. They will hear his flute and all the cows will come. And then Krishna, just like we've got our Tulsi Mala, Krishna, he's got 108 jewel japam. 108 jewels. And like we're counting names of Krishna, Krishna is counting cows. Not actually cows, but groups of cows. Because Nanda Baba, he has 9 lakhs of cows. You know the meaning of lakh? My little friend here, I forgot your name. Aravinda. You know the meaning of lakh? How much is 1 lakh? 100,000. So 9 lakhs of cows means almost 1 megabyte. And that makes Nanda Maharaj very happy that he has 9 lakhs of cows. We ourselves, we would be very happy if our computer ran at 9 gigahertz. But Nanda Baba is happy because he has 9 lakhs of cows. Now they're divided into basically four groups. White cows, yellow cows, black cows, and red cows. And then those 4 groups, they're divided into 25 subgroups. So 25 by 4, Arvind? How many groups? 4 times 25?
100.
100. Then there's 8 special groups of cows. There's chandan colored cows. Then there's speckled cows, we call kapil gai, speckled. Then speckled cows are supposed to have very special milk. Speckled cows, and then there's one cow that I still haven't seen called Mridangamukhi, with face like a mridanga. And one group of cows, I'm not sure, I want to see Singamukhi with face like a lion. And then there's cows with stars on the forehead, and there's cows with different kinds of tilak on the forehead, like this 8 special groups of cows. So when all the cows come, then Krishna, he touches the nose of each leader of each group, and he counts one jewel on his jewel japamala. Then, if he sees that all the groups are there, he sees that all of the 9 lakhs of cows are there. And he knows they're all names. Just like in the white group, there's Sweta and Davali. Of course, in Braj we say Doli. Daval means white. So Doli and Hamsi, like a swan on the Zurich lake. The swan is so white. So Hamsi and Chandrika, moonbeam, Chandani, moonlight. And all beautiful names like this. Sweta, just like you know Sweta Dweep. Sweta. And then there's the yellow cows. Pili, Gauri, and Pitambari, and Pingala, and Gange. Because Ganga, she's in the yellow groups of cows. If anybody's ever been to Prayag, then you'll see Jamuna is coming very deep, dark color. And Ganga is coming very golden color, and then you can see the waters mixing in the Sangam. Anybody been to Sangam? You saw, huh? Jamuna is very dark, and Jamuna is Jamuna is dark, and Ganga is coming very light color. So Gange, then there's the black cows. Kali, Shamala, Krishangi, Krishnangi, and Kalindi, Jamuna. As we told, Jamuna is very dark color, so she's in the black cows. Jamune, Kalindi. And then there's the red cows. Lali, Kumkumi, Sinduri, Aruni, just like sometimes we sing Udilo Aruna Purava Bhagi. When the eastern side, Purav Bhag, becomes Arun, becomes reddish with the rising sun. So Aruni, Kumkumi, Sinduri, and Saraswati, just like Jamuna is blackish and Ganga is golden color. So the Saraswati river, which we don't see anymore, used to be red colors. So Saraswati and Kumkumi. So then Krishna sees if all the cows are there. And if anyone is missing, then he calls back, he climbs back up in the top of the tree, and he calls that cow by the name. Now all of the cows, they heard Krishna's flute. They know they're supposed to come home. But some of them are very clever. They know one thing, another thing. That if they don't come, then Krishna will climb up in the tree and with his own lotus mouth, he'll call them by their name. Can you just imagine Krishna calling you by your own name with his own lotus mouth? O Navina, Ananda, Naina, Simran, and Bhavish, and Sachisuta, Christian, Gopal, Sugandhi, Chataki, and Damodar, Flora, Ekantiki. You just imagine, Chaitanya Dev, Prana, you imagine Heidi, Krishna by his own lotus mouth calling your name. Keshav. You imagine with his own lotus mouth, Krishna is calling your name. Vrindapriya, Krishna calling by his own lotus mouth. How ecstatic. So all the cows, generally their ears are like this. But when Krishna calls, then the ear goes like this. And when it fills up with nectar, it doesn't overflow from here, it begins to overflow from here. All the overflow is coming from here. And then those cows, they make a sweet sound. And they all come running, stretching their legs out and together and stretching them out, and Nupeg is going ka-choon, 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 ka-choon. They all come running there to Terkadam. So for this reason this place became known as Terkadam, because Krishna is calling the cows there. Also, sometimes Krishna plays there with all his friends, and they all have their little lunch bags. And they hang them in the pillow trees, because the pillow trees, just like here, you have all these trees. Sometimes I was trying to see the top, and practically I'm falling over backwards to see the top of your trees here. But in Braj, our trees, especially the pillow trees, they try to grow straight, but they're melting in Krishna Prem, so they again come down. They go up like this. Some trees you'll see, they're just lying on the ground, meditating on Krishna's Prem. You ever seen? So, this makes, when the trees go up and come down, then it makes like a very special room. Now, when the wind blows through those leaves, then the water evaporates from the leaves, and evaporating water causes cooling. So this is just like fridge. So they hang their lunch bags in the pilu trees, just like refrigerator, and they play all day. Then, around lunchtime, they don't see Krishna. They all want to sit down and take lunch, but they don't see Krishna anywhere. So, then they call Krishna. Oh, Kanhaiya! We're very hungry! Come home! Come here, take your lunch! The cowboys have very loud voices. Oh, Kanha! Because Krishna, he's not hungry. And Krishna is fulfilling everyone's desire, so he's not hungry himself. He only becomes hungry because devotees are offering sweet things to him. So when all the cowboys are calling Krishna like that, then he comes and he sits down. And all the cowboys, they sit down in circles. First the Astasakas, then another 16, then another 32, then 64, then 128, then 256, then 512, and after a while there's megabytes and megabytes of cowboys sitting around Krishna. And no matter where they're sitting, everyone sees that whatever side they're sitting, they see Krishna is looking at them only. Millions of cowboys are there, but everyone sees that Krishna is looking at him only. And then, they all take their lunch. And some cowherd boy, just like Madhumangal, of course he's like cowherd boy, anyway, Madhumangal, he takes a bite out of his laddu and then he hands it to Kanhaiya. He says, oh Kanhaiya, just see what nice laddu my mother made. And Krishna takes a bite of that laddu, he says, oh, your mother, very good laddu maker. My mother Yasoda doesn't make so nice laddu. So everybody, Krishna's taking a bite and giving his laddu to his other friend like this. And everyone's saying, oh, you taste my laddu, huh? Like this, all the cowherd boys having a wonderful time there, taking their lunch. So one day, Krishna was only half full. Not completely full, not fully satisfied. So he said, I want some butter. But now he's in the forest, butter's in the village, not in the forest. They're playing in the forest, butter's in the village. So then Krishna's got a very special type of mobile. Just like your mobile is some combination of numbers from 0 to 9. But Krishna's mobile, only zeros. You see, only zeros there. Only zeros. So he plays like this. And when he brings his phone, then there's special prem sim in gopis' hearts. And Krishna is calling on his flute, they bring some makan quick, I'm hungry, bring some butter. So then all the gopis come running to the forest with big pots. And if you've been in Braj, you see everybody always comes, like, all the girls, they come like this. So they're all looking, but they don't see Kanhaiya anywhere. There's Akanta Sevika, there's Damodar, Gopal, Keshava, Navina, but they don't see Kanhaiya. There's Chaitanya Dev, Sham Chataki. So then they call, oh Kanhaiya, we're here in the forest looking for you. Where are you? We brought some butter. So, so then Krishna comes, Japtu Ter, when you called, then I came. This guy is called Ter Kadam, then I came. And there's so much butter, but there's no cup to drink the butter. So then, suddenly the kadamba tree leaf, we saw one tree here, it looks almost like kadamba leaf, I don't see it here. But anyway, it looks like ordinary type of leaf, like this. But the kadamba trees all made little leaf cups like this. They're these turned into little automatic. If you go to Terkadam, the Terkadam Baba there, he's preserved one dried up kadamba leaf just in the shape of a cup. So then in the leaf cup, then Krishna is eating his butter and that's it. Now this place is the Bhajan Kutir of Srila Rupa Goswami. Terkadam is Rupa Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. And when you come there, you'll find very beautiful painting. The Rupa Goswami, as he was writing, in fact, many scholars and acharyas believe that this is where Rupa Goswami finished writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. He doesn't say directly, but in the end of the book, he ends that it is such and such day of the such and such half of the such and such month, and I'm sitting under a kadamba tree, and this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Purnam is complete. So he gives some little hint. He says, I'm sitting under kadamba tree. So many scholars and devotees, they believe that this is where Rupa Goswami finished writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And also I've heard from Terkadam Baba, who heard from his gurus, he's also in Gaudiya Math. So that this is where Rupa Goswami wrote Lalita Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav. He started in Puri, he made outline in Puri, some beginning verses, and then he finished writing in Terkadam. So this is a very special place where he was writing. So you see Rupa Goswami is writing. You see in the background some little gopi girl is coming with pot under. You see this beautiful painting there. So what happened was Sanatana Goswami had his Bhajan Kutir at Pavan Sarovar. And we know he's the older brother of, Sanatan is the older brother of Rupa. So one day Rupa was thinking that I would like to offer something nice to my big brother. But even today, if you go to Tirkadam, you'll see it's just out in the middle of the forest. There's no Govinda's bakery, no MBT restaurant, there's nothing, Brinda Foods, Ambarati Foods, there's no place to buy anything nice. But he was feeling like that, I don't like to offer something nice. So then suddenly this beautiful little gopi girl appeared on the scene. And she said, Baba, 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 there was wedding today in the village, and there was some sweet rice left over, some kheer. So my mata told me to go give it to some Baba doing bhajan in the forest. So she handed Rupa Goswami this pot of kheer. Now, especially in India, our little girls, they're very, 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 very shy. So she's all alone in the forest with some strange Baba. So she just put this pot in his hand and bing, 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 she ran back down the path. And although Rupa Goswami, he's not attracted to anything material, his mind ran down the path behind this girl. Bing, 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 bing. Then he looked at the sweet rice. Now, in India, when we want to make sweet rice, we can make it very, very nice. Here you think you put some cardamom and some cashews and some raisins and you have nice sweet rice. But we also put saffron, it's nice and yellow. And then we have little brown seeds called chironji, little brown nutty-like seeds that we put on top. And then some of you the other day knew what are puffed lotus seeds. We put puffed lotus seeds. Makhana, we also put puffed lotus seeds in the sweet rice. So Rupa Goswami is a very, very special sweet rice. So then he went over to Pavan Sarovar to see Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami, he gave Sanatana Goswami the sweet rice. I brought some nice sweet rice for you. And Sanatana Goswami looked at this very far out sweet rice. He said, where you got that sweet rice? He knows Rupa Goswami's there in Tirkadam, there's nothing there. He said, oh, one little gopi girl came and she said there was marriage today in the village and there was some kheer left over, so her mata told her to go give it to some Baba doing bhajan in the forest. So and I thought I'd bring it to you. He said, Sanatana Goswami, there's no wedding today in the village. Because Sanatana Goswami, he knows each and everything. Because he was very dear to all the Brishvasis. Whenever he'll come to some village, then all the younger children will run out of the village. Oh, Baba Gosai has come, oh, Baba Gosai has come, and they'll touch his feet. Those who are equal age, they'll come and they'll embrace him. Oh, my dear brother, why were you away for so long? Those who are equal, they'll embrace him. Oh, my dear brother. Those, when he comes in the village, the elders come, they pat him on the head. It's, oh, Lala, why you stayed away for so long? Then he'll sit with them, and they'll tell him all the news of the village. And so-and-so married, so-and-so got baby, so-and-so died, so-and-so built a new house, so-and-so bought a new land, like this. And then in the village, somehow or other, even in small village, people can't live peacefully. So much politics is there. But Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, he was the Prime Minister for Nawab Hussain Shah for good reason. He's very intelligent, so he would sort out all the politics. And then in the evening time, they will just have Hari Katha and Kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then next day when he'll leave, everyone will cry, said, oh my dear son, why are you leaving? Oh brother, why are you going? Oh Baba, Baba, stay. And they will all follow him out to the village. So with great difficulty, he'll bring them back to the village and go on his way. So he knows each and everything. There's no wedding today. So what did this girl look like? Which girl was she? Which house? I don't know which house she was from. She was very beautiful, golden complexion, very soft, and beautiful lotus petal eyes. And she was so sweet and so soft. Then Sanatana Goswami, he got some doubt and he tasted the sweet rice. As soon as he tasted the sweet rice, his whole body began to quiver. Tears starting coming from his eyes. Then suddenly both of them realized that was actually Radharani. And now they've taken service from Radharani. They're chanting Hare Krishna, they're Radha Krishna, let me serve you. And they've taken service from Radharani. And both of them began to cry and eat the sweet rice mixed with their tears. And they broke that pot and they keep a little piece just tied up in their cloth, and every day they'll take a little piece and get this taste, and again ecstasy will come like this. So when you come there to Terkadam, you'll see a beautiful painting of this pastime. Unfortunately, it's got glass on top. If you have to learn how to make the settings on your camera to take the picture without taking flash, because all you'll get is this big flash in your face, in your picture. There's very beautiful paintings there. And Rupa Goswami, he would sit there under Kadamba tree, he would write all about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And sometimes, when he was writing about Radha and Krishna's separation, then all the leaves in that Kadamba tree would come falling down just like tears. No matter what season, just like we already saw, some of the leaves are turning yellow here and they'll all fall down. So, because now autumn season is round the corner. So no matter what season it is, all the leaves will come falling down like tears. And then when again Rupa Goswami writes about the union of Radha and Krishna, then immediately so many beautiful new fresh leaves will come, and little buds will come, and they'll blossom into beautiful Kadamba flowers, no matter what season it is. This is the power of Rupa Goswami. He's such a powerful Vaishnava that even dull thing, tree, he's just standing there in the snow and the wind and the hot sun. You know, people are coming and carving their names in the side of him, but he's never doing anything. Very dull consciousness. But even dull-witted thing like tree was affected by the influence of such a Vaishnava as Rupa Goswami. You just imagine the power of such pure devotees. And Rupa Goswami, he's not ordinary. Actually, in Gaudiya Sampradaya, we're very, very lucky because our acharyas, they're all in Krishna Lila. Rupa is none other than Rupa Manjari in Krishna Lila. So they're not giving us just theoretical knowledge, they have seen each and everything going on in the spiritual world. All our acharyas, they're seeing all these things going on. Therefore they can write. And Rupa Goswami, he's very special because twice in Chaitanya Charitamrita he's mentioned. Not just once. By who? By Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu talks about Rupa Goswami twice. Was it the first time there was Rath Yatra. And in Rath Yatra we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's seeing how the gopis are pulling Krishna back to Vrindavan. So he was always dancing in this mood. So one time in a Rath Yatra, and he's always singing so many verses and creating so many verses, and one time in a Rath Yatra, he was singing some verse that sounded like some cinema song. He's singing something about some young girl lamenting for her boyfriend. Ye ko marahara saiva hivaras taeva chaitra shapas techo militi malati suravaya proda kadamba nila sachaiva smita tatri tatra surato Vraja Lila vido reva roda siveta sita rutale cheta samutkantate. Utkant. This is called kant. That's why this is called kantimala. Sometimes they always say kuntimala. It's not kunti, it's kant. It's a short day. So sometimes the Brisbasi say short day, they don't say kant, they say kant, kuntimala. So it sounds like kun to us. But this kantimala, this is kant. So sometimes we become very excited. Our excitement comes up to the throat. This is utkant. She's very anxious. She says, Ye Kumara, that young boy, Hara, who stole my heart in my youth, he's now here before me. And Chaitra Shapas, it is the moon, the full moon of Chaitra. And Malati Suravaya, Surab means fragrance, Surab. So there's fragrance of Malati. And Kadamba Anila, Anil. Anil means breeze, wind. Because he's Anil, he has no color. Anil. Proda Kadamba Nila, the fragrance of Kadamba is filling the air. I'm just remembering Vraja Lila. We did so many Lilas together. Huh? So I'm not happy here. I want to go back to the Reva river underneath the Vetasi tree. The Chaita, my consciousness, my heart, Samud Kantate. That's so anxious to go there. So everybody was wondering why this Mahaprabhu was singing some cinema song. Then Swarup Damodar, he spun it around in his mind for a while, then he understood. Then Rupa Goswami, he was also there. He listened to this verse. He spun it around his heart for a while, then he understood. So later he was staying at Siddhabakul with Haridas Thakur. So we don't have to feel disappointed that we're not allowed, those of us with white skin, we're not allowed to go inside Jagannath Temple because we're in very good company. Haridas Thakur didn't go inside, Rupa Goswami didn't go inside, Sanatana Goswami didn't go inside. We have good company, don't worry. So Sanatana Goswami was staying there at Siddhabakul with, Rupa Goswami was staying at Siddhabakul there with Haridas Thakur. So one day on a palm leaf, he wrote a verse explaining this verse. Then he stuck it in the thatch and he went to take his bath. Meanwhile, Swarup Damodar and Mahaprabhu came. Although Rupa Goswami didn't enter the temple to see the Lord in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come and see him. So he came there one day with Swarup Damodar and he noticed this leaf and he saw the handwriting of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami's handwriting is described just like strings of pearls. So he saw this pearl-like handwriting. If you go down the street to the Vrindavan Research Institute, just about a couple hundred yards down the street from our temple, you can see the handwriting of Rupa, Sanatana, and Jiva. It's all on display there. So the Mahaprabhu, he saw this handwriting and he pulled this leaf and he began to read. And he became struck with wonder. He handed it to Swarup Damodar. And Swarup Damodar read this verse. He was also struck with wonder. Mahaprabhu said, how this Rupa Goswami has understood my heart. At that time, Rupa Goswami appeared on the scene and he bowed down and Mahaprabhu gave him a big slap on the back. And he said to Swarup, how this Rupa Goswami has understood my heart. And Swarup Damodar said, well, unless you have given your mercy upon him, it's not possible. Krishna Sakti Bina, it's not possible. Without your mercy, it's not possible. And Mahaprabhu, he says, yes, I met this Rupa at Prayag. And seeing him a fit personality, I have bestowed my entire transcendental mercy upon him. What did he say? I have bestowed my entire transcendental mercy upon him. First time he says this. Then another time, we were just talking about this Vidagdha Madhav and first of all, let's tell the verse. What is the verse? Priyakseham Krishna Sahachari Kurute Vimilitas Tathaham Sarada Tadidam Rupayo Sangama Sukam Tatapyanta Kelan Murali Madura Panchama Juse Manome Kalindi Pulina Bipinaya Sprihati. Spriha means desire. My desire also, he says, what is it? Priyak Sayam Krishna Sahachari. She's talking to her friend, Sahachari. I met my dear friend Krishna at where? Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra Militas, means to meet. Tataham Sarada. I'm the same Radha, he is the same Krishna. But I'm not feeling the same happiness that we used to feel. I want to go to the bank of the Kalindi, on the forest, Bipinaya, the forest there. Tatapyanta Kale and Madhura Murali, Panchamadras. I want to hear that flute, Murali, playing on the fifth note. Saragama Pa. That's fifth note. I want to hear him playing on the fifth note on his flute. So Rupa Goswami is given the description. This first verse is Radharani meeting Krishna at Kurukshetra and lamenting that she's the same Radha. He's the same young boy who stole my heart. Kumara Hara, that boy who stole my heart. So Mahaprabhu was shocked how this Rupa Goswami has understood. He says, only because of your mercy. So then another time, Mahaprabhu came there with Ramananda Roy, because Ramananda Roy is very expert in relishing rasa. And they heard that Rupa Goswami is writing a drama, actually 2 dramas. One was Lalita Madhava and Vidagdha Madhava. So he brought Ramananda Roy with him. So then Ramananda Roy says, what is your writing? So he began to explain something. And then Mahaprabhu said, tell that verse that by hearing which everyone becomes so happy. The whole world becomes joy. What is that verse? Let's see if we can remember. Why am I made it blank? Tunde tundavali vitanute tundavali labdaye karna kroda kadambati vijay vitanute karnarbudeva spriham cheta prangani sangani vijayate sarvindriyanam kritim no jane janita kriyadvi amritai krishneti varna dvai. All the devotees became struck with wonder when they heard this verse. He said, I do not know how much pleasure there is in these 2 varna, 2 syllables, Krishna, Krishneti varna dvai. When I sing these 2 syllables, then I want to have thousands of tongues to taste that sweetness. And when it enters the karna means ear. Karna kroda kadamdani katayate karnarbude, arb. After crore comes arab, that means billion. I want to have billions of ears to taste that nectar. Now there's a secret meaning here. He wants thousands of tongues, but billions of ears. Means we should talk less and listen more. I want billions of ears. And when that dances, Chaita Sangani Prangani, in the courtyard Prangan of my heart, then Sarvindriyanam Kritim, all the senses become inert. Now our senses are just bugging us all day long, go here, do this, do that. Sarvindriyanam Kritim, they all become inert when that name dances within the courtyard of the heart. No jane janit, I do not know how much nectar is in these 2 syllables. And then he begins to ask him about how did you introduce this play, and what is, then he asks him, what is the, how did you set the scene, how does the play start, and what is the Mangalacharan, what is the Mangalacharan for the Istadev, the worshipful deity. And he says, then Rupa Goswami put his head down. Mahaprabhu said, no, tell. He said, no, I can't tell. Oh, come on, tell. He said, Anarpitam chirin chira karuna avachirna kalo samarpayitu unata ujala rasam sevakti sriyam haripurata sundra duti kadamba sandipita salarli kandare spiritu vasa chinandana. Anarpitam, just like every day we do bhog arpan. Anar, not offered, not given, not available. Chirin chirat, for a long time. Anarpitam chirin karuna avatirna kalo, but in this Kali Yuga there's a karuna avatar of compassion. Samarpayitu, now he's giving freely. Unata ujala rasam sabhakti spriyam, the glory of his own prema bhakti. And Samarpayitu unata ujala sabhakti spriyam, haripurata duti kadamba sandipita. Purata means gold. And dipita means to shine. Sandipita, he's shining. He says, kadamba, like great quantity. Just we see people go crazy for a little piece of gold. And Mahaprabhu with his arms stretched out, he's like 7 feet tall. Huge quantity of gold is dancing. How attractive that must be. He's shining with like great quantity of gold. And now Rupa Goswami is giving blessings. May that son of Sachi always be manifest within your heart. Then Mahaprabhu became very angry. What is this nonsense? This was so sweet, and now you put some alkali, some bitter thing inside. And Ramananda Roy said, no, this is like putting camphor and black pepper in the sweet rice. It becomes so fragrant and wonderful. No, all right, tell another verse. Then finally at the end, I guess it's probably getting late, but anyway at the end, Swarab Damodar, after he hears all the verses, he says, this is not a drama, This is a constant flow of nectar. Krishna Sakti Bina. Without Krishna's mercy, nobody can write like this. Huh? Therefore I can understand you have bestowed your mercy upon him. And second time Mahaprabhu says, yes, I saw this Rupa in Prayag, and seeing him a fit personality, I have given my entire transcendental mercy upon him to be able to express ras. Twice he's such special devotee. And Prabhupada all told we're all Rupanugas, so we're very, very fortunate to be in this Gaudiya Sampradaya and be followers of him, because he's so special. Mahaprabhu twice told the same thing. He's our Rasacharya. So I think it's probably late. What time is it?
11:30.
Okay, right on the time. So, anyway, these are some of the wonderful places we can see in Nandagram. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Shri Rup Sanatan ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.